Hi guys, welcome back to Cool Movie Ratings, and today we're doing a video inspired by Planet CHH, and I will link him down below because he's done a series for a long time called Horror Blu-rays I Think You Should Buy, and he's rebooted it recently, and he's doing, he did a 4K version, and he's doing it again, so I absolutely love Planet CHH. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, if not my favorite YouTuber, so today this will be Planet CMR, because that kind of works, because Cool Movie Ratings, and I absolutely love Planet CHH. His channel, I've been watching him since like July of 2022, and he's become absolutely my favorite YouTuber. I listen to his podcast, he's just such a great YouTuber, so I will link him down below, and today we're doing the 10 horror releases I think you should own. Not the top 10, I'm not going to rank them. These are not going by favorite to least favorite or anything. These are just 10 horror releases I think you should own of just absolutely amazing movies. These aren't more niche movies, these are like mainstream movies, but releases I think you should own of these movies because horror has become one of my favorite genres, if not my favorite genre. If you notice, basically my channel has been very horror since about 2020. And yeah, and I thought this idea was so great, and I will link CJ down below, so definitely go subscribe to him, watch his videos, he's great. And yeah, let's get into the 10 horror releases I think you should own. First up, I want to talk about the Misery 4K by Kino Lorber. So this release is never really talked about anymore, and I don't really know why, because this is such a great 4K. The 4K looks amazing on this one. It's by Kino Lorber, and you've got some decent special features on here, and Misery is just one of the greatest movies of all time in my opinion, and definitely in my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time. So when Kino was releasing this was a must-own for me, and this is the only Kino Lorber movie I own. I want to get Escape from Alcatraz, because that's another one of my favorites, and I know that was released by them, but for now I only have Misery, and this 4K is just amazing. I will take off the slipcover, which I never realized their slipcovers are limited to like not that many units, so this slipcover, like with this release, it makes this a lot rare, or a lot more rare than just this version, which is still on Amazon. And yeah, I found that interesting that they make their slipcovers limited, which kind of sucks because I wanted to get the Silence of Lambs one with the slipcover, but I'm too late for that. But Misery on 4K. The only thing about Kino that I don't think is great is they give you no disc art. They just give you KL for Kino Lorber, but 4K looks amazing on here, and it's totally worth an upgrade. I never owned this movie on anything except DVD. I never owned that Shout Factory Blu-ray or any other Blu-ray. I went from DVD to 4K, and Misery is just one of the greatest movies of all time. Misery deserves to be owned on the best format as possible because it is just such a great movie. And next, I only picked up the first one because this is one that everyone should own, every single horror fan. Even if you're not really into the Halloween franchise, you should definitely still own this release because this release right here is the most stacked version of Halloween I think we will ever get. The picture quality looks perfect, better than that previous 4K that was released by Lionsgate and Shout Factory. Really knocked out of the park with everything on this. You get 3 discs on this one. You get everything from the television cut. You get original color timing. So it is just really great release of this movie, and I think every horror fan should own this one in this format. All the movies in 4K look absolutely amazing. They're all, that like set is in my top like 3 favorite sets of all time for 4Ks, and I think that Halloween is just so great. It is my favorite horror movie of all time. It is my 3rd favorite movie of all time, and I could not own it in any better format. They give us everything we want on here, interchangeable art. I always change it to the original. It's just, nothing will ever beat that original artwork, like, if we're being honest. And then you get awesome disc art, and, yeah. I didn't even realize, oh yeah, that was broken. I thought for a second I just broke my release. Hopefully not everyone's does that. I don't think so. Maybe mine was damaged somehow. But, still a great release. I recommend everyone, even if you have the 2018 version of this one, or the 2018 Halloween 4K release, definitely go ahead and pick up the 2021 version, because this version is just much better and superior, and this is a must-own for every single horror fan. Planet CHH did mention this in his 10 horror 4K, or just horror 4Ks in general, the Thing 4K, but I could not included on this list because I totally agree with him. This is one of the greatest or I don't think he said one of the greatest, but I think it's one of the greatest 4K transfers of all time. And John Carpenter's The Thing is my 4th favorite horror movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. I've seen this one 2 times in the theater in the last, 6 months, and it just kind of worked out like that, but I've seen this movie so many times, and this is one that scared me the first time I watched it, because my dad showed me this one before I even saw, Halloween, so I wasn't even into horror yet. It scarred me. The part where the dogs get shot and it turns into a creature, that scarred me for a little bit, but then I went back and watched it a year later, and oh my god, it became one of my all-time favorites, and it still is now. John Carpenter's The Thing, I liked it. On the standard release, you just get the awesome poster, nothing else, because this poster is one of the greatest posters of all time, and on the back, you can see it 4K, and you get some pretty good special features here. You get outtakes, which I still haven't watched, but definitely need to watch, and The Thing just deserves an awesome release like this. And on the 4K, you get disc art. You don't get disc art on the regular Blu-ray, but neither studios like Warner Brothers, Paramount, they never release 4K or Blu-ray art for some reason. It's always on the 4K, and Paramount's case, they never do art. Neither really does Warner Brothers, but Universal does. And this is just such a great release. 4K looks absolutely amazing, and The Thing is one of the greatest movies of all time, so this is definitely a must-own for any horror fan. We got our first box set here. We have the box set of A Nightmare on Elm Street. I got this for $20 at my local FYE, and this has got 1 through New Nightmare, so this was a really good deal for $20 because I didn't even own all these movies, and I think that this was just a great deal. And dude, this is a great box set. The date is 1999. They got it, 1999. They got it pretty perfect, before any other studios ever did this. This might be one of the first releases ever where they actually went and did the art like this. And this is just an amazing release, and Planet CHH said that this was the best Nightmare box set ever. I've never owned any of the other releases. I own the first one, and I think I own a weird set, 4 through New Nightmare or Freddy vs. Jason or something, and I'd never owned them all like this, so totally worth it to me, especially for $20, because look at this. And they're all such great releases, but something interesting, since this is early, all of them are snapper cases. So, I've never seen another box set that's all snapper cases like this, and they make awesome artwork. They've all got great artwork. You've got this Nightmare Encyclopedia documentary, which I don't think was ever ported over. I probably am wrong with that, but I could not find it anywhere else. This Nightmare documentary, and the art on this one is just amazing. I remember the disc just looking great. Look at this. Ooh, that's just some great artwork on a disc for a documentary, which they obviously didn't need to do, but New Line obviously cares about the Freddy franchise, and even though these are not my favorite movies, I really enjoy 1, 2, and 3, and I'm starting to kind of enjoy the others a little bit more as I watch them. But yeah, this is definitely a must-own, especially since it's actually pretty cheap. You can find this for I think around $25 on eBay, so definitely go ahead and pick this one up because it is just such a great release. We got a release that not many people will classify as horror, but to me it's definitely a horror because I really want to talk about it. The Jaws 4K in particular. This is one of my favorite releases of all time of any movie, because I remember this was one of the first ever 4Ks, because this was the 4th 4K I ever bought, and I was absolutely super excited for this to come out, because this came out in June of 2020, and I remember because I waited the day that it because I pre-ordered it. I never pre-order stuff for some reason. This was one of the only things I ever pre-ordered, and it came to my house and I loved it. And this was the first ever digital code giveaway I did from this release right here. And Jaws is just such a great movie. It's my second favorite movie of all time, so if you do really classify this as horror, I guess it is my favorite horror movie of all time. Not really, but it is definitely one that every horror movie fan should own, because there's blood, there's scares in here that I think every horror fan would agree is just a great movie. And Jaws, nothing else I really need to say about the actual movie, but this release, I still need to read this awesome booklet. Steven Spielberg, I've really been into him lately because of The Fablemans. The Fablemans just blew me away, and I'm probably going to go back and watch Jaws and Jurassic Park and Indiana Jones, but in here you get awesome disc art, I'm just covering this up. You get awesome disc art, and it is just an amazing release, and I think every movie fan should own this release, honestly, because Jaws is just, I think this is the best movie of all time in the way of movie making, and honestly, some days I do think this is my favorite movie of all time, so I think every movie fan and horror fan should own this release. Next up, we get the scariest, psychological movie to me ever, The Shining on 4K. My third favorite horror movie, my top 10 favorite movies of all time. The Shining means so much to me, and this 4K release was just absolutely amazing. I was so lucky to get a slipcover on this, because for some reason, I saw that a lot of people that ordered it after it came out did not get slipcovers. I don't know why, but The Shining, I'm so glad that I got a slipcover for this, because just look at how amazing this slipcover is. This artwork is just so great on this release, and The Shining is just one of the greatest movies of all time. So definitely great to have this on 4K, because the transfer, I just watched it recently on the transfer a few months ago, and oh my god, guys, this transfer looked amazing, and I don't think The Shining will ever look better. And I compared I think they used the 4K restoration for when I went and saw it at the greatest theater of all time, the Senator Theater in Baltimore, Maryland, because the Senator, just look them up, and if you're anywhere within a 3-hour drive, go and see one of their revivals, because it is totally worth it, honestly. And I got to see The Shining there last year, and it just blew me away, and I've never seen The Shining in any better way. And this 4K reminded me of what that looked like on the big screen, so I'm guessing they did use this transfer. And I think that Warner Brothers didn't even put any, they didn't put any disc art on, even the simple 4K. But still just a great release. Dr. Sleep and this make the ultimate double feature, and I own Dr. Sleep on 4K. That's not included on here, but maybe if I do another list, I'll include that one. But the first Shining, or The Shining, definitely deserves to be on the list for a horror release that every single horror fan should own. Another one we have here is possibly the most mainstream horror movie of all time to this day, Scream. This is way more popular than Halloween is now, and I can kind of understand why, but Scream is just great. This is my second favorite just slasher movie of all time, behind Halloween, and Black Christmas is pretty close to this. But Scream is just great, and last year or 2 years ago now, I'm still kind of not really used to it being 2023. 2 years ago when they did this for the 25th anniversary, I was super excited, and I got this release, and it looked great. And I'm super glad that they released this one on 4K, and I think that Scream holds up very well, and they only gave you the 4K on this release. That's kind of a bummer for anyone who doesn't have a 4K player, and sometimes the Blu-rays are upscaled. I don't know if the Scream 2 one was. I don't have that release yet, but that one did come with a Blu-ray, and I wonder if it was upscaled, but this one didn't even come with a Blu-ray at all. But on this disc, I think you have some great disc art on this. You've just got Ghostface, just a great release, and Paramount did a great job restoring this one and making it look as good as possible. Next up, we got a very recent release, and this is the Fright Night 4K Steelbook. This honestly is one of my favorite releases of all time, because, dude, there's 16 hours of special features in this release. There's 3 discs. This thing's kind of heavy, and they give you the awesome poster art without the logo, which just makes it so much better in my opinion. And that poster's amazing. I have it right up there. And on the back, you get Chris Sarandon, you get Jerry Dandridge on the back. Just such a great artwork piece. And, dude, this steelbook would probably be my favorite steelbook of all time, behind the Terminator 2 one, if they gave us inside art, but they give you great disc art, and they don't give you any inside art, but if they did that, it would honestly be just an amazing steelbook. But this is still just an amazing release, because I watched some of the documentary, I forget what it's called, but it's 2.5 hours long. It's pretty new. I know the title is the line, You're So Cool, Brewster, that's what it's called. And great documentary, and Fright Night is one that I just got into this year, and I got to meet the main lead in it, William Ragsdale. Super cool guy, and it makes me love this movie more, because Charlie Brewster is just such a great character, and this film was stunning on 4K and one of the best of last year. And this steelbook is just absolutely amazing, and I think this steelbook went out of print, and it's going for lots of money on eBay now, but I think that they'll put it back in print, because this was a very popular release of last year. And if they do that, or you just want to spend a lot of money to get the steelbook on eBay, I would totally recommend doing that, because this movie is absolutely amazing. The steelbook's absolutely amazing, it deserves to be owned by every horror fan. Alright guys, I saved the best for last. I know I said I wasn't going to rank them, but I can tell you guys this is my favorite horror release of all time, and I think I said this was my second favorite physical media item of all time, and honestly, it might be my favorite. We've got the Friday the 13th Shout Factory box set, and I got it signed by Kane Hodder, who is the most famous Jason. He was in 4 Friday the 13th, and he's such a cool dude, but you get this awesome artwork by Devin Draws, and then you get all the movies, and I'm gonna hope that I'm gonna be doing some Friday the 13th content for a few days away, actually, because the second Friday of the year is a Friday the 13th. So I would say right now, stay tuned for some Friday the 13th content on Friday the 13th, but no promises. But on this release, you get every single movie up to date, and it is just a behemoth of a set. You get special features for every single movie. The first 4 are scanned in 4K, and you get nice clear cases instead of blue. It just looks absolutely amazing, and this is like one of the only big box sets I own, if not, or besides like that Freddy Krueger one that I talked about. I'm trying to get at the first one. Most of them come with reversible art. Like the first one, I have it set to like the Grindhouse cover, which I never see this artwork before, so super great. They give you so much stuff on each movie. Like lots of them have, or I think like 3 of them have 2 discs, which you get. Like they found new footage for like part 2, put it on here, like uncut gore, which is just shocking. And you get like a whole 2-disc extra features. Dude, you just get so much in this one box set. And the Friday 13th movies, I started off not really liking them, and you can see as much in my review of the first Friday the 13th like over a year and a half ago. But once I got this box set and started rewatching all these movies, I've grown really fond of this franchise, and honestly, it's growing on my love. Like the first one, I don't necessarily hate anymore. I think it's pretty good. And my favorite, I don't know, it's probably Jason Lives now. It goes between Jason Lives and the final chapter. I love both of those movies, and all the other ones are pretty good. The only one I don't really like, I don't know which one I could say I don't really like, but I absolutely love this set, and every single horror fan should definitely own this set, because it is just the greatest set of all time. That I think, as of right now, greatest set of all time that's ever been made. And the Friday 13th movies, like I said, they're not the greatest movies in the world, but this set is, and they do the films justice for the fans, and every horror fan should definitely own this release. So guys, let me know, do you guys own any of these 4K releases, or just these releases, and are you guys going to pick any of these up? Once again, thank you to Planet CHH for making such amazing content. You really do inspire me if you're watching this. You really do inspire me, and just such great content. And yeah, go follow and subscribe to Planet CHH, and let me know, did you guys are you guys gonna pick any of these up now? So thank you guys so much for watching this cool movie ratings video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.